we're following two breaking stories. Patrick McDowell sentenced to death for the murder of Nassau County Sheriff's Deputy Joshua Moyers. But first tonight, Bursey Armstrong found guilty on 2 counts of murder for the death of a Jacksonville DJ and her unborn child. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Anthony Austin.
And I'm Heather Crawford. Tashika Young was found shot dead inside of her apartment at Mission Point Apartments almost 2 years ago. She was pregnant at the time. Her baby also died in the shooting. Young's 2 children, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, were inside that home when all of this happened. Zach Wilcox has been following this case closely since the beginning. He joins us now live in front of the Duval County Courthouse. Zach, what's the latest?
Yeah, well, we know that the jury came out with that decision after deliberating for about an hour and a half or so, and that's after 3 days of hearing from multiple witnesses, about a dozen witnesses, with a packed courtroom, family filling one side of the courtroom. Tashika Young's family, as they had to relive what they experienced 2 years ago as that evidence was being presented throughout the length of the trial here. And we'll give you a look at what was the final things we heard from both attorneys today during their closing arguments, as well as what we heard from the family as they left the courtroom. One final witness took the stand before both sides rested their cases. The DNA expert from FDLE showed the jury where she took blood samples off the pair of sweatpants found tucked under the stairs at Bursey Armstrong's parents' home.
The observed DNA profile is greater than 700 billion times more likely to occur if the samples originated from Tashika Young than from an unrelated individual.
Armstrong's defense asked the expert if there would be another way for that DNA to get there.
If I put my hand in my pocket, right here, am I rubbing off skin cells, and that's why you look in the pocket area?
Yes.
So you could get somebody's skin cells along with somebody's blood from that pocket area and have that mixture. Right?
Yes.
Armstrong decided not to take the stand. During closing arguments, prosecutor Sheila Loizos reminded the jury what Tashika Young's downstairs neighbor heard the day she was found dead.
I love you. I love you. Who else did she love other than Bursey Armstrong? So even though she wasn't able to talk to you today, her last words got to you.
With the jury found the defendant guilty of murder in the 2nd degree.
The jury decided Armstrong was guilty of both 2nd-degree murder charges. Tashika Young's cousin shared the family's reaction to that verdict.
Bittersweet moment. It's bitter to the point that we did lose 2 lives, but it's sweet to the point that justice was served today, and we are elated that justice was served today.
All right, so you just heard from Young's cousin. We just talked to them about an hour ago. We also talked with Young's mother. You'll hear that coming up at 6 o'clock. But let's talk about what happens now. So now we have the guilty verdict on both charges. Each one carries 25 years to life. I did talk with a spokesperson with the state attorney's office who mentioned they will be pursuing life in prison for Bursey Armstrong, and the sentencing phase is expected to start on August 19th, a little over from a month from now. In downtown, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.